Savannah. Oh, almost got you. Power lines. This here? Kogel. Kogel. Ulangom. Zavkon. Kukmoret. No, all the. And there were nights where I saw the snow drifting over the ice sheet, and with the sun on the horizon, it looked like sand. And I got really interested in the idea of traveling to a different type of desert. And I know that Mongolia is very dry, and it has the Gobi Desert, which is super famous. And I was drawn to its scale and its remoteness, and with the consistent wind in springtime, made it the perfect place to do a big traverse of the country with my kites. In Greenland, I traveled. The sport is called snow kiting. So historically, I've been doing expeditions for years, and I've become a bit of a snow expert. So I do mostly ski trips in the backcountry, no trails. And so Greenland I was on skis and dragging sleds, and I had a kite in the air. And then it's also a wind trip, but it's traveling on skis versus my three-wheeled vehicle like in Mongolia. That the landscape, I underestimated how difficult the terrain would be. I naively thought, it's similar to Greenland. It's fairly flat, and I planned my route to go through the flat areas and the valleys. I'm not going to go up mountains. That's unnecessarily difficult. And with the off-road terrain and even the dirt roads were very bumpy, and there's lots of rocks and lots of plants, and it just made for a continuous, it was very hard on my body. And it was also difficult because I started later than I wanted to. So I started in early May, and the wind is best in April. And so I ended up going more into the summer storm season. So there were a lot of thunderstorms and sandstorms, which were amazing, and I loved them. But as far as the wind was a lot more dangerous and a lot more inconsistent. Oh, nothing's broken. That's good. Oh, that hurts so bad. Oh, these stickers are, oh my God, that hurt. Oh, the sunset's so beautiful though. Look at that. Enough noodling around. Yes. Yeah, it is. It's very turbulent. So sometimes the wind would go from no wind to really strong wind just at the snap of your fingers. And I don't have a seatbelt, and so it's almost pulling me out of my buggy, and it was super dangerous. So it would be constant, like low wind, high wind, low wind, high wind, and you can't see the wind, so you have no idea when it's coming. Yeah. And the roads were fine. I mean, I as I was traveling along, I saw, I mean, Prius is the famous car in Mongolia, right? I mean, there are Prius, Toyota Prius everywhere. And I was thinking as I was going, as sometimes the roads were difficult, and I thought, you know, if people can drive a Prius, I can drive my kite buggy there. So I could, all of the roads that I was on, I was able to go and continue forward. But the clearance, like as I'm sitting down, I only have maybe 15 centimeters between the base of my seat and the ground. So I had to be really careful about rocks and things underneath me that might hit me. Oh, I hate this. This is the kind of shit that makes me want to just go home. If anyone thinks that this is fun right here, they are sick. I mean, it's like 5% fun. 95% just torture of the mind and body. I wonder why my back's hurting, huh? Oh shit. Was around 40 kilometers per hour, but it feels very, it's very scary. Minimum speed was 60 kilometers per hour, and then 50 kilometers per hour I did sometimes, but only when conditions were like really perfect and the road was very smooth and the wind was really consistent. But most of the time, on average, I was probably doing about 30 kilometers per hour. Yeah, I think there were many highlights. It's hard just to pick one. And I think that both the people of Mongolia was, you know, definitely a highlight, and also the landscape and the nature, because both are just amazing. But I do have very strong memories of the storms. I thought the storms were amazing. I'm still in the dust storm, and now it's raining pretty hard. Maybe it's not raining that hard, but they're big drops. It is 360 degrees. Blotting the sun. Pretty cool. I just need to wait here, you know? It's raining mud. Like the rain droplets are brown as it's raining and it's catching the sediment. And they're so powerful, and the landscape is so big, and you're out there and a storm comes in and it has so much power. It's hard not to be amazed by them. The sandstorms and the snowstorms and the thunderstorms. And I also really liked seeing all of the animals. Sometimes as I was kiting, sometimes I'm doing 30 kilometers an hour, and in a whole like 30 horses would just come up next to me and also start running, galloping next to me as I'm going just for many kilometers. And there were really beautiful moments like that as well. Yes. Yeah, many people helped me. Yeah, I had my buggy, there was a bolt, a big, very big bolt that broke, and it's very difficult to find, and I did not have an extra one with me. So that was another amazing part of the trip, is, you know, when I was in trouble, the Mongolian people really came out and went out of their way to help me get back on the road. And that was really amazing to see, and gave me more insight to the culture and how Mongolians are living day to day that I wouldn't otherwise have had if nothing went wrong and I continued being in my tent and sleeping in my tent every night. So it took a week to find the bolt, and I ended up traveling. I went to Gobi Altai, and then I went all the way back to UB and ended up finding the bolt, and then took a bus back to Gobi Altai and then back to where my equipment was stored. I think the Mongolian hospitality is amazing. I mean, Mongolia is famous for it. You know, many people, you know, who have never traveled to Mongolia know that the people are very welcoming and very friendly. And it was pretty incredible to experience that myself. And many people invited me to stay in their gers and to eat with them, and they don't know anything about me. They don't know my name, they don't know where I'm from. I don't speak Mongolian, and they're still just so kind and willing to share a bit of their life with me. And that's very different from the culture. That's a good question. I would love to come back, but there are so many interesting places to travel to in the world. And yeah, I definitely want to come back at some point, and I would consider coming back to do another kite trip, because this one I was kind of in the wrong season. So if I came back in April, I think that I would have better winds. Yeah, I think from a young age, I've always been interested in people, and I've always been interested in the world. And that led me to pursue a degree in environmental engineering. And when I went to college, and after college, when I was working, I was doing a lot of outdoor sports and doing different things like climbing and mountain biking and camping in winter and being alone in the mountains. And about 5 years ago, I quit my job and I started traveling around the world and doing expeditions. And between expeditions, I do contract work. So it's not really as much of my personal, like my current job or career that led me to do these kinds of trips. It's more something that has been within me that led me to do, led me to my career and to do these trips throughout my whole life. Traveling, that's a good question. Traveling means going to different places in the world with an open mind and being willing and interested to see different people and cultures and landscapes and try to learn. And I think that's the beauty of travel, is that we can see something that is so different from the place that we come from. And it doesn't matter where you come from. It only really matters where you're going, and to go somewhere that you feel inspired to go to and to learn. And it gives us new perspective and insights when we come back home. I have lots of ideas. It's the world is so big. I feel like I've traveled a lot now and I've only scratched the surface. And I want to keep exploring the planet and different cultures. And I want to experience different types of travel. And so maybe I would like to do a big canoe trip. I've never done a big trip on the water. And so doing something on a really long river or an ocean, I think would be very interesting. And doing more snow kiting, maybe in Antarctica, would also be very interesting. And I would also, as I mentioned, I would love to come back to Mongolia and spend more time there. Bye-bye.